Okay. Mark test 1 2 1 2. Mark test 1 2 1 2. This is the Other Room podcast, live and direct from BKK. Where your host, my name is Joel, aka Authority.
My name is Anthony. Welcome to the podcast.
Yeah, this is our 23rd episode, right? Episode 23.
Yes, sir.
So we're moving, man. We're progressing. Before we start, first of all, let me run a quick shout out. There are a lot of people I want to run the shout out to, and I'm sorry if I have to run the shout out every week. Um, there are some people who has been like following us, and we didn't even know, man. I was out yesterday, and
Okay.
a lot of people just hit me up. Yo, dude, we're watching your podcast. We're following what you're doing. We love what you're doing. And I was like, yo, man, thank you.
That's what's
First of
up.
all, I want to shout out to the homie on that who will be on our zone very soon.
Yeah.
Shout out to Ralph, Rafi, or wherever your name is. Shout out to Dave and Andrew and the entire Sway universe, man. Yeah, those are good people need a shout out. You have to shout out to the
Yeah,
good
man.
people, man. The
Yeah,
people who has been
confirm.
showing love. Everybody who has been showing us love, who has been following this podcast. We really appreciate
Real
your
stuff.
love. We
Real
appreciate
stuff.
you. So let's get started. Where do we start from, man? It's your turn, man. It's your turn to
Yeah,
host.
man. Like it's been a good week for Nigerians, man.
Oh,
Like, like
man.
everyone's been celebrating the World Cup win that we got against Iceland, and it's
I
like,
got myself in the financial trouble as well.
oh yeah, right, with the bettings, right,
Yeah.
man. It just brings back the nostalgic feelings of Obite Rente,
Oh,
Obite Rente, Obi. You know,
man,
like
that game was like I was out. I didn't go out because I was just at home tired. I just watching at home, and first I knew we were going to win. You know how? Because we were playing so good. Nigeria were playing good
yeah,
football.
yeah.
We're playing good football. We just like I just think like we don't have this sense of urgency. We
Mm-hmm.
give them so much space to organize, and they play zone so well. And when you see your
Yeah,
opponent playing zone so well, what you do is like you have to run, you have to cut. And immediately Moses made the first run. You see what second half, man, it was the fucking goal. And Moses was just
yeah.
playing so lazy, man. I don't know.
I know he's been falling down a lot,
Yeah, I
so
don't know
I
what
don't
was
get
wrong
it.
with him. He was
I
playing
don't
so
know.
lazy, man. Ah, damn, man. Musa, man. Dude, I don't know. Like, if the coach used the same information he used this second match, if you use the same information in our first game, we would definitely win the game, for sure.
Yeah, I think so. I think for the first game, the formation was bad because the ball movement was not really, the attack was not really sharp. But
Yeah.
the midfield, you can see like the kind of goals we conceded. I felt like those are just normal goal. Like penalties are normal, and the deflection is
Yeah, it's
so.
normal too,
I
yeah.
wasn't really impressed with the Croatians, especially when I expected Luka Modric to take over the
No.
game, right? And we didn't actually see him. And look at the impact he had on the Argentines.
Yeah, he destroyed them.
Exactly.
He
So
destroyed Argentina, man.
that's why I feel like if the Argentinians can play so badly against Croatia and they play that bad against Iceland, then maybe we really have a good chance
Yeah,
of making it out of the group.
I think so too. I think so, but like our game against Argentina is like is life and death, man. They need the game to qualify. We need the game to qualify as well.
They
So it's
need a
gonna
win. We need a
a
draw.
draw. Yeah, we actually need a draw, but
So
they need a win. Yeah.
so it's more like it's lesser responsibilities for us.
But we have to play like we need a win too,
Yeah, exactly.
because you
Like
don't.
worst case scenario is a
Yeah,
draw,
it's a draw,
but
but
you
you have
just
to go
got to
for the
come
win.
all
Yeah,
out.
have to go for the win.
And personally, I feel like the kind of formation the coach had for the second game could work against the Argentines
That will
too.
work against any team,
Yeah,
any team.
because it
Just
was
want the player no penalty. Don't be stupid when you defend him, man.
yeah
Two matches, two penalties.
yeah. Like I think almost every game like in this World Cup has had penalties,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
it just still comes down to how I feel like football is becoming so soft like basketball. Like you can see some of those touches are minimal touches that
Yeah,
and that's one thing, especially like when I look at some of the penalties, I'm like, really? And then the usage of the VAR has really reduced
that really
that
ruined like.
that flair that football has. And one of the major problems that the moment you go to the VAR and you try to use it to analyze the infringement,
Mm,
the moment that slow motion, right? it has more impact. It amplifies the impact. Like there was so much impact, even though it's very minimal. And once you can just feel like, oh, there was a contact, even though minimal contact, then they just be like, oh, it's a
Yeah.
penalty. So it's so easy to have penalties now, and I'm afraid we might just concede one or two penalties against the
Again,
Argentines because
yeah, Messi, man. You have to be,
exactly,
you
it's
have
just
to be
as good
extra
as
careful. Yeah,
you can't touch him.
don't go for him, man. When he's inside the box 18, don't just leave him in there, man.
Exactly.
Don't go
So
anything.
that's exactly what.
Not do
So
anything.
it's like our fate hangs in the balance that nobody touches Messi within the box because some of the penalties are just really obnoxious ones that you feel like 5, 10 years ago nobody would have even thought that's a penalty.
Talk about 4 years ago.
So I don't know. The game is gradually becoming soft, just like
Yeah.
basketball, and I'm like, is this how sports is generally going to become? And is it that humans are getting weaker? Is this that our genes are getting
No,
weaker, or what?
no. We're not getting
Or
weaker.
people
We're
are
like getting
just
more. I mean, like technologically, we're getting stronger, and which eventually weaken our human strength because we have to rely so much on technology, right? We still have the same strength. If we're subjected to work in a very tough environment, you know, we still strong. Just like we
yeah.
becomes
I
lazy
don't
because
know.
we have someone who will eventually do the work for us. So
So I don't really know like how. Yeah, I quite understand that there are plays that will probably need VAR for. And at the same time, football fans are just used to the beauty of soccer, right?
yeah,
The
that's what makes
controversies that come with soccer and
that
all
is
of
what
that.
makes soccer
Because
beautiful,
if
man.
there's been the usage of VAR from way back, we wouldn't have had that Diego Maradona's iconic goal where he said
Hand of
that was
God,
the
man.
hand of God.
Hand of God.
So there wouldn't have been the hand of God in
And a
football,
lot of
man.
people are trying to 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 bring that back alive, but they all fail,
Yeah.
man.
So we wouldn't have had the hand of God. So just imagine that part of history that VAR would have actually denied us of. I'm not saying it's not good, but it's
It is,
totally
but
not
yeah,
good.
but not in all
It
aspects.
just
Even the
yeah
basketball, right? You have to they will watch when it's like the critical time. They could do the same thing when you have like like 10 minutes, like 80 minutes.
yeah
You can check everything because that is like the time people really want to be strong. They're looking for goals so badly, and the basketball is every last 2 minutes,
yeah
right? Every last 2 minutes. So you should just like
yeah.
reduce it.
It's. I'm actually happy and glad for Nigerians that the Super Eagles have given Nigerians something
So,
to
to
be happy
celebrate,
about,
man.
and they have actually saved us from the shames, the shame we would have received from the Ghanaians because
the
yeah,
Cam-
they were waiting
and
for us to fail. The
the
Ghanaians,
Cameroonians
I don't even think there's so much
hate from the
hate from the Cameroonians. It's
uh,
more like the South Africans and the Ghanaians who were just waiting for us to fail. And uh, well, thanks to the guys that they didn't fail us, and at the same time, for everyone who has bought the jersey and who has become a hype beast for the jersey and who has fed into the culture vulture of the jersey,
thank you too.
it was just more like a validation for them because now they're like, oh, okay, the jersey is living up to its billing, right?
Dude, that just is fire, man. Shout out to the designer. This is the second time I'm giving a shout out to that guy who designed that
Yeah,
shit. That
shit, it's
shit
hot.
is fire, man.
Fire. That
And we
shit's
can and
fire.
what's so funny, we can't even find it here as in Nigerians, but we have a lot of Thai people already bought the jersey before we even think of buying it.
Not really a lot. Maybe I've only seen it with one person. You've seen it with one person too. There's so
Like
many people who
you know,
want it.
Nike with this Nike have a store, right? They distribute to the store. Probably
Yeah,
they have like limited amount here, but trust
yeah.
me, the bigger people here already pre-order and they already got it.
And one thing from that is the fact that back home in Nigeria, someone just ignorantly said that the fake jerseys, are being made in Thailand. And
That was
the
stupid.
media
That
the
was
media
stupid.
just ran with that storyline and everybody believed that
Nah,
that fake
big
Nike
lie.
jerseys are being made in Thailand.
Hell no.
The Nigerian Super Eagle jerseys, the fake ones are not made in Thailand. The Thai people cannot find it. The Nigerians in Thailand cannot find
We
it.
can't even
Foreigners
find
in
it.
Thailand
Cannot
cannot
find it.
even find it.
Even my friend Dave tried to call. They tried to call their connections. Like, yo, oh, do you have Nigerians? Like, yo, that shit sold out in 3 minutes.
So nobody have fake Nigerian jerseys in Thailand. It's not manufactured here. The comment that it was manufactured here was an ignorant comment that was fabricated by someone to just try to justify it. And the media did not even try
Yeah,
to fact check.
People just make shit up on Twitter, man, on Facebook. People
Actually,
just make things
what
up,
happened
man.
was there was a BBC interview with one
Interview,
of
right?
those people who were printing the jerseys back home, and one of the guys said the jerseys were made from Thailand, were made in Thailand and imported to Nigeria.
Nah.
So so the moment he said that, everybody ran with that. So it was based off of the comment of the interviewee
Mm.
that people decided to just run with. Even when I tried to denounce that, like on Twitter,
They
that
won't
this
believe
is
you,
not
man.
real, like this is not
Believe it.
happening, like people can't even find jerseys here.
Yeah.
So how are you saying it's being made here? It's just like I don't get it. I just don't get it. It's just like saying, oh, um Elijah's are fishermen and all fishes come from Elijah and people in Nigeria cannot even find fish to eat. Just not can't even find one to eat.
Want to eat.
So where is it coming from? So I don't get it. But it's a good thing that the Super Eagles won and it's a time for like all Nigerians all over the world, especially mixed Nigerians and Nigerians in diaspora. It was time for most of them to come out of their shell, because you just
To be
felt, okay,
proud.
to be proud of their
To be
roots.
proud. You do you see Anthony Joshua's Instagram live?
No,
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 no, I
not
didn't.
live, like Instagram story.
No, no, I
He
didn't see
actually
that.
posted about Nigeria, and it was like singing. It was like
Oh,
singing,
okay.
straight to singing, and then the next video was some n- Yoruba, call Yoruba party singing,
Yeah,
dancing
yeah,
after
yeah.
the match, man.
Best.
Yeah, everybody was so happy, everybody. Shola, was like
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I see
the
Shola
flag was
Fanu,
like,
like, yeah.
man, everybody was like, yo,
Yeah, a lot of Nigerian Americans were just celebrating, like, oh, like the win and everything.
the win
It was
was
just a
great,
time for you
man.
to show
Yeah,
your Nigerian root and pride. So it was good thing that the guys won. And as for me, I think a lot of Nigerians who went to Russia, they're just trying to have fun,
yeah.
irrespective of the result.
They don't care.
Because even
Joe,
before
we already won. We already we won the
we
Jersey
already won the
award.
Jersey Award,
Award,
so
man.
what's
Who
there? Like,
cares?
so
Who
nobody really
cares?
cared, and they were just trying to have as much fun as they can before going back home. Like even before the game, it was just like a party. It was like a show where they were singing, they were drumming, there
Yeah, it's
was a
like
lot
going
of
from
trumpets and
train. Yeah,
everything. Like they were just having as much fun. So even by the time the game started, some of them were probably exhausted from singing and chanting and whatnot. So
yeah.
it's a good thing to like for people to be joyous, to celebrate and to relieve stress.
Yeah, I was really happy, man. I
So
can't do that night. I was really, really happy. After the match, I just ordered pizza.
well, that's a happy ending.
I just ordered pizza. I was like,
I
order
was at a
pizza.
bar,
Oh
and
yeah, you went out, but I
I
was like,
wore
I was
my
watching at
vintage
home. Yeah.
1994 Nigerian jersey to the bar, and they were like, "Oh, Nigeria!" I'm like, "Yeah, hell
Yes,
yeah!"
yeah.
So when they scored the goal, everybody was like happy and congratulating me, and then the owner of the bar just like, "Yo, ring the bell," and when they rang the bell, he just said like, "Order one bottle for everybody who were
Everybody
at
in
the
the event.
bar,"
Wow,
like.
that was
So
nice.
I was like,
That's
"Yeah,
cool.
this is cool." And then later on, we got the second goal, and it was like, "Yeah." So it was
Yeah,
a
that's
good
good.
thing. It
Yeah,
was a
that's
good
good
thing.
thing.
Like,
Yeah, I just hope we win on Argentina and move to the second round, man. I will be really happy.
yeah, still in the spirit of sports and whatnot. Four Nigerians got drafted into the NBA.
NBA
Yep,
gunshot,
yep,
gunshot, gunshot,
yep,
gunshot, gunshot for all the Niger people, man.
yeah,
Like sometimes I just think we are underrated in every aspect of life. The international media restricts us to one certain part, which is
it's a
like
narrative.
uh, the 419, the scam or
Yeah,
whatever,
that's a
and they
narrative.
forget is our impact in the world.
Yeah,
It's like this shit is driving me crazy, man. Like if you see most of the uh professional athletes like in US, in UK, in Germany, in Holland, you will in a way find the Nigerians among them.
yeah, fact. The thing is, it's all about media narrative, right? I remember like my first semester in the university, it was more like, okay, you got to be media literate to understand that media tries to curate the conversation with media agenda because there's
Mm,
an agenda. Here it is. In Hollywood, there are two major storylines when it comes about Africa. It's either a war-torn country where there's wars going on, then the leaders are corrupt,
yeah.
having illegal deals with diamonds and oil and
Mm.
whatnot,
That's right.
or there is hunger and scam when it comes to Nigeria. And when it comes to Latino and Hispanics, there was a
That's
new
drug
study that
dealer.
got released this week it's all about criminals and
Drug
drug
dealing,
dealers,
gangs and
even in
shit. Yeah.
Hollywood movies.
Yeah.
So a couple of movies were reviewed as part of the research, and that's where it proves that a larger percentage of the characters of Latinos are portrayals of criminals. So that's what the media narrative is actually about. So now to go back to the essence of this conversation, which is about the drafting of Nigerians, right? Um, the number one pick, DeAndre Ayton. DeAndre's dad
Yeah.
is from Nigeria.
I thought he was like completely from Bahamas. Now, not
Nobody,
until you told me, right?
yeah.
Yeah, not until you told me. I was like,
Actually, what happened was, I was just going through Twitter, right? Then I saw Ross Gold on one day's tweet that, oh, Nigeria will claim just anything out there, like that is one of
after the
ours.
sources.
Yeah, exactly. So then I saw this other guy, Chine Ogumi case tweet also that like number one pick, then Nigerian flag and whatnot. So I was like, oh, let me go check DeAndre out. Then I saw like
I
he
didn't know,
was
man.
born to a Nigerian father
Father.
and a Jamaican mom in Bahamas. And then I think nobody actually even knew anything about his roots
Nobody, man.
until he
I
said
don't know.
it.
I've been following him like since
Yeah.
college. I don't even know anything.
We
I don't know.
didn't like I didn't have anything on him until he said it himself that he was trying to celebrate his roots, his Nigerian,
Yeah,
Jamaican,
Jamaican,
and
Bahama.
Bahamian and whatnot. So everybody was like, okay. And Nigerians like, your dad is Nigerian, so you're Nigerian, so we're gonna claim him. And then
It's still,
everybody just claimed him as being Nigerian.
oh
Then the
man.
other guy who was maybe 26th peak or 24th peak was Josh Okoje.
Yeah, that's
Josh was
man.
born in
By
Lagos.
the name, man.
Yeah,
It's Joshua
and the good thing,
Okoje,
Josh
man.
was born in Lagos
Yeah.
before immigrating
To
to the
US.
United States. Then the Spurs picked Chimezie Metu,
You can't doubt
so
that.
which is the
typical,
third pick.
a typical Nigerian name.
Yeah, exactly. And then the fourth is Kostas Atentocumpo.
Atotokumpo.
So
In
which
case
is
you
like
don't know, that's
four. Yeah,
Adetokumbo.
yeah, it's actually Adetokumbo. So I don't know, just to sound Greek,
Yeah.
they changed it to Atentocumpo, and I don't think they've ever been to Nigeria anyway. So but both parents are Nigerian parents. They were born in Greece. And now, just to back something up, to go a little bit deep, because people say I go deep. So, hell no. Shout out to my guy T Deep. I saw your call. I'm gonna give you a call back, bro. I'm gonna call you. So here it is. I read this book recently, right? Where they were trying to disprove a lot of things about data and whatnot. And here it is. This goes a little bit deep. That I'm not really sure, but I think it was said that there are usually about 60,000 college basketball players all across
Sixty
the United
thousand
States. Yeah,
every year.
yeah,
All
every
total.
year. Like I think there are registered basketball players playing on teams in all across the United
Oh,
States.
okay. Including G League,
So
everything.
there are college players, there are students.
Okay.
So everybody wants to make it to the NBA, and every year only 60 can make it to the
Yeah, only
NBA.
60. Yeah.
And during a 4 or 5 years college career, that's maybe like either 240, yeah, either 240 or 300 players can make it within a 4 or 5 years,
Yeah.
and there are like 60,000, right?
Wow, that's a
So that
lot.
means like you have
That's way
maybe a
too much.
1% chance
Yeah, of
of
making
making
it to
it
the NBA,
to the
man.
NBA. And then if you're maybe 5'9" or below,
Nah, your
your
chance
chances
dropped. Yeah.
decrease.
Yeah,
And
dropped.
if you're 6'5" and above, your chances
And
increase.
if you're seven,
Yeah, your chances
like
increase.
probably 6'9" to 7, so you have higher chance. Yeah, I've seen the data before, like probably 4 years ago.
So here's how this is relevant to Africans and to Nigerians especially. I think almost every year
Every year we got
a
like
Nigerian gets drafted.
two or three.
Yeah, and most times it's usually two or three. So now the question is, how do we have two or three Nigerian Americans getting drafted into the NBA every year for maybe like the past 10, 15 years? And compared to like the population of the other 60,000 students, they are not getting drafted.
Come on, man. Nigeria, we're good, man. I told you about, like, I don't know if our third episode we had like very long argument about being genetically superior.
Oh, don't bring that up. No, no. It's actually not about genetics. It's actually not about genetics.
It's about what?
No.
About what?
Okay, I'll bring,
About what?
yeah, I'll bring my side of the argument.
About religion?
I'll bring my side of the argument.
Do we have
to
a special
what
God?
I think
Other than other
what's
countries?
responsible.
Okay.
There is this myth about NBA players that a lot of NBA players come from very poor background.
So Nigerians are poor, right?
But let me tell you something.
Okay.
That's Do you agree that that's the myth or the general belief out
Do
there?
you know Oladipo moms and dad? They're so educated,
I,
doctor
I'm
and
I'm
lecturers.
I'm going somewhere.
A lot of them are
But a
like
lot
not
of
poor. Like Nigerians abroad
ex-
are not poor.
no, I'm not even talking about Nigerians. I'm just talking about black players
I mean,
generally.
yeah, but don't relate. You know, Nigerians abroad. You know, come on, man. You know, like failure is not an option for you as a Nigerian. Like if you living abroad with your parents. No
I
failure
know
is.
that for sure, for sure.
If Oladipo is not playing the NBA, he would be in the probably study law or like doctors or something
Fact.
like that.
Or probably
So
like he can sing, so he'll
yeah,
probably like
we'll be like
be an
doing
artist.
some, and the rest of them too.
So this is actually not even about being Nigerian or whatnot. So there's that belief out there that black players are from very poor background and sports is a way out of poverty for black people.
Yeah, there is a narrative like that, but
That's the
I
narrative.
don't really
But
buy
the thing
into
is
that. You
just
know,
that with
I don't really buy
with
into that.
different data that has been put together by Steph. By was it Steph? I read his book. I'm still reading his book. Steph. Yeah, I think it's Steph David Owis. So he's a Jewish American. So with all the data he was able to piece together, right? He's trying to prove that that's definitely not true.
No, that is
That
not.
you
Yeah,
know why? Patrick Ewing, Michael Jordan, Chris Bosh, and this all Chris Paul, these guys are not from very poor background.
yeah. Even Dinwiddie as well.
And their parents are married, they have good jobs. So the conversation that black athletes have, especially NBA players, are from poor background is actually not true.
It's not true.
That
And right now the narrative it's
and
changing every day. You
yeah,
have like
exactly.
ex NBA player
It's not
sons and
even
like
about okay
yeah,
because the number of players I've mentioned are the really good players that have made it or that are popular, but he was able to bring up data that shows that a lot of the players that make it to the NBA are not players from the very poor
poor. Yeah,
counties.
yeah.
And now that is to back, and also he brought out data about people who make it to the NBA. Their parents are substantially educated,
Educated. Yeah.
and now that's where I think the Nigerians who are making it to the NBA get their strength from. The fact that they have a middle class parent
Yeah, an
that's
educated
not
family.
poor,
Yeah. That can
and parents
provide.
and
Yeah, you're going
parents
out, you play ball, you come back, you still have
yeah,
something
and
to
parents
eat.
that are educated too.
Yeah.
So which means that parents that are able to provide for their kids to drive to games, to
Mm.
drive them to games, to register for AAC circuit
Yeah,
games,
yeah, yeah, yeah,
YMCA's, and
yeah, yeah.
everything. So
And to
and
go some
also
to they can afford to send it to the player camp and like
exactly because going to camps costs money too.
yeah,
So and buying basketball jerseys
right,
or shorts or everything
shoes,
involves money
Jordans and
too.
shit. Yeah,
So and for a very few parents, they're definitely that's not saying that NBA players are not also from very poor background. There are people
it's
like
mixed, man. Yeah,
LeBron James who came
how
from a
come from
very
it?
very
Yeah,
poor
yeah.
background because he had just his mom and she was working like three jobs and
Trade job, they
whatnot.
have to move from
So
home to
exactly.
home.
So there are that, but at the same time, I feel like the success story of Nigerian Americans to getting drafted out of the 60 players every year that gets to the NBA comes down to being from middle class
Yeah,
background
yeah,
and also
yeah,
education.
yeah. I can roll
So
with that. I can roll. I can
I
roll
don't feel
with
like
that.
it's actually about genetics because you
Okay.
know why?
No, but what I say genetic, I mean like Nigerians are built differently, man. You can,
Because
dude, you can't take away the struggle.
you,
We have
your
totally different mentality as a Nigerians.
your chances of making it to the NBA also depends on height. And a lot of Nigerian parents are not tall.
But
So genetically, you can't prove that, oh,
not
Nigerians
like
make it to the NBA because
dude,
of genetics.
how many Americans are really tall? How many Chinese are tall?
How many Chinese players make it to the NBA?
That's what like. But you say a lot of Nigerians are not tall. Like what I'm saying, how many players play in NBA compared to the statistics? Do you know we have like even in our community, right? We can have almost like 10 NBA team with people with a good height.
Yeah, yeah. There are people with good height there. And at the same time, even having the height doesn't mean you make it to the NBA.
Yeah, I know, but you're
Because
talking about the
that's
average
why
Nigerians like
that's why I'm
height.
saying that
That's why
having the height it's not even an issue as to why you make it to the NBA.
If NBA is like football, football, it will be like so difficult. Like you have a lot of people, a lot of teams, right? So
Hmm.
much team, like you can play for different teams, and the number of people in a team is like really big, right? It's gonna
Yeah,
be
yeah.
like difficult, right? It's
Yeah,
gonna be a
compared to
little bit
NBA, it's usually
NBA, yeah.
just 15 players on the roster at each time. So a player have to go. So basically, there are even people who are like 6'9", 6'10", 7 feet who don't even play in the NBA or just play one season and they're gone. Like look at Anthony Bennett, like number
No,
one
that
of
was
a draft.
waste of talent, man. That was like
Exactly.
waste of height, waste of drive, and waste of talent, man.
Look at this other Nigerian guy.
Oh,
Um,
that played with
T-
Golden State before.
no. Michael Benitez is like 6'5".
No,
So
no, Golden State. That won a ring with Golden State. This
oh
guy.
no. Ezeli has
Ezele.
been injured for like 2 years
No, the
already.
injuries. It's not. That is a forever injury.
He has a very serious injury. So and he's always been injured anyway. Like even from college.
Well, at
That's why
least, at
that's
least he
why
got
his
a ring.
draft
At least
stock.
he got a ring.
Yeah, at least he made like I think in his contract with he signed his $15 million contract with Portland, and the first year was like 7 million.
Uh,
Second year was non-guaranteed. So since he couldn't play for the first year, then the second year they dropped his contract.
Second year, first year 7. Probably he go home with 3. Have to
Second
pay
year is
the.
non-guaranteed, so
I
he's
mean, the
making
first year
nothing.
you have to pay the state tax, pay the
Yeah,
government
yeah.
tax. Have to pay the
I don't think the
player or
taxes is
whatever.
that high in
No,
Portland,
it's like
so it's not as high
uh,
as like California and other
I
states.
mean, like the government tax is like almost like 30%, man.
So either way,
Almost
at
like
least he made something not playing though. Yeah, because he wasn't playing and
yeah.
he made money. So I think that
I think
also led to
he would
like
have
locker
loved to
room.
make better, man.
Yeah,
Make more money.
yeah, that also led to locker room issues with CJ McCollum
Oh, he
during the
had an issue
season.
with.
Yeah, yeah. I think he was saying something to CJ when he was injured about because then the team was losing and CJ just lost his mind that
He can't
oh
even help, man.
you can't even
He's
help the
just
team
taking
so you're
money.
talking
that's,
you're speaking
that's
and I
that's
feel like
stupid, man. That's
he's
totally
saying that
stupid,
because he
man.
just feels like he's more legit than Ezeli but
Yeah,
take it or
that's
leave it
just stupid.
Ezeli is a champion and you can't say he rode on the wings of anybody to a
Anybody,
championship
yeah.
because
He actually helped the team.
he actually helped the team he
Helped the
played
team. Yeah.
in two NBA finals. So either way you want to look at him, like
No, that's just bullshit.
he's
That's
a first round.
just
He
too
was a
childish,
first
man.
rounder. He's an NBA champion. And so what else? Like so it's not like some of the guys who jumped on the bandwagon, to get to a championship. So let's go back home.
Still going back home?
Yeah, it's time to go
Okay.
back home. What we're gonna talk about?
What is happening at home? What we got happening at home?
What we got on the board? My eyes are not good.
Oh, Kiss Daniel changed his name to Kiss Daniel from Kiss Daniel. Is that
Yeah,
something to talk about?
yeah, but I think he changed the keys.
Yeah. Change the double X to double Z.
Yeah, but at the same time, he didn't trademark the name or patent the name. So
But G Worldwide, they say they own the name, the former name, Kiss
yeah,
Daniel.
yeah,
So and to keep his brand, he have to like rebrand himself.
yeah,
Uh, going with the double Z instead of the double S. So
yeah.
now he still almost pronounce the same thing and still
Yeah,
have the
but
Daniel.
but G Worldwide already went to and get the trademark for keys, KIZZ.
Already?
Yeah,
Hey, smart motherfucking move, man.
yeah. So that's why everybody's like, "Yo, what's wrong with this
What
guy's
a
management?"
waste.
Yeah, I thought that's what we're gonna be talking about.
I didn't see that,
He
man.
changed the name the first time. That's like months ago, and
Are you
now
serious?
I think he didn't trademark the name. So
And then they so just
yeah,
fucking outsmart him.
so
What is it gonna do? It's
so
going
G Worldwide went to the CAC to register the name.
trademark the name.
Yeah,
Now he gotta change. Dude,
so
you go with K
anything
Daniel, man.
anything that's produced in that name henceforth
Yeah.
belongs to G Worldwide.
K Daniel.
So that's I saw the news release from G Worldwide to news
Oh
media
fuck, you didn't
outlets.
send me that. I
Yeah,
didn't
yeah.
see it.
So I thought you actually saw it. That
No,
was
no,
why.
no, no, no. I just like
So,
the
but
name.
I haven't really heard anything from the management of Keys Daniel because yeah,
Keys,
because
Keys
maybe he has
Daniel.
registered the name before. But if he had registered the name
But they
before,
won't they won't approve their
it would
own
have
trademarking.
shown.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they
it
will
would
never
have
approve
shown
it.
on the
So
database. So
come on,
now
man.
people are like, "What's the next end
But
game?"
why? Okay, why is G Worldwide doing this? Why?
Yeah, it's just like damn if I do, damn if I don't. Because either way, like he still feels like, well, I'm not just gonna let this guy go like that. Because he's already built the brand,
Around
everything, and
him, right?
so even though
But he got
even though it's Keys with Kixx or
mm,
anything, everybody knows it's still the same dude.
what? Maybe there's a way around this, man.
I feel like with the way he's,
KS Daniel.
I feel like G Worldwide is being irrationally petty right now.
He is, man. He's
He's
really
being
petty.
irrationally
He's
petty
really petty
because
right now.
take it or leave it, you've already lost. Just count your loss, because at this point you just make the whole thing more complicated and more difficult to reconcile.
There's
So
nothing, man.
I
It's
feel
gonna be
like take it or
difficult,
leave
man.
it. Keith Daniel have a cult followership because people feel like he has a real
A real
talent.
talent, yeah.
So and people will always fuck with him.
Doesn't
So
really matter. He already built a brand with a face.
yeah,
He
so
can just change any
either
name he
way,
want.
if he decides to change his name to anything else, people will still recognize the name.
Yeah. Two Face changed from Two Face to Two Baba.
Yeah, exactly, right. So people will always still recognize you as long as your
Dude, I
songs,
didn't.
your brand
I swear
transcends
to
your
God, but
name.
I didn't know. I didn't even know the G word went this.
Mhm.
That was smart.
But then it actually shows that I don't know whoever Keith Daniel has been getting advice from,
From right.
and that's one of the problem with the Nigerian media industry. Like the management is not really that good for a lot of artists. Like look at Techno, you sampled a song,
He
and
didn't
your
even know.
management didn't
He didn't
actually
even
reach
go
out.
like reach out to the right people.
Same
Not
thing
until you
with
get
Simi.
blasted.
Same thing with Simi. You sang Joromi,
Jerome,
and
yeah,
you
he
didn't
didn't
reach
even
out
like.
to Sir Victor Wifo.
They
So
didn't even need anything from you, man.
exactly,
Just
it's just like
Nigerian, like you didn't even need to
show
pay money.
love.
Yeah, you didn't even need to pay money to collect samples in Nigeria, man. Just like
Yeah, you don't need to.
you
It's
don't
just
have
more
to,
about
man.
just reach out, have the
Yeah,
conversation, show love and respect to the copyright owners, and they're okay with it because they just feel like it's all about the advancement of Afrobeat
yeah.
and the nation, right? So, but when you just go and jack up their style without really giving
And
the
they
proper
think everything
dues,
is free and shit.
that yeah, exactly, that's where people get mad. So I just feel like for Keith Daniel too, like how can you make that move
Man,
without your
dude,
management?
you should be really strategic about the whole story around you, like changing label from moving from one big names to another. Dude, you should be really
Yeah, and the moment you start to change name like twice,
twice.
thrice,
Yeah, it's
then
becoming
even as much as people really fuck with you, but it still puts a little bit of that unseriousness
yeah.
tag on your personality or your brand. So that's where even people that I know that really bang with Chris Daniel
And
start
now
to
to
like be
even
like, oh,
like
something is wrong
to
here.
even but there is a way he can actually get his name back, but that will involve court.
Yeah,
That means the case have to
you
be
you
go
know
to
in
court,
Nigeria
yeah.
it's gonna be like
A long time.
come a
Or you
long
have to
time.
pay, man. Just pay for the brand. Just
It's
pay.
gonna be a long
Yeah.
time to get his the whole issue with his.
Just pay for it and get the name back. Because one thing is like if there's no active person and there's no active brand or active anything attached to that name by G Worldwide, the name will be like no, he have all the right.
No, he can still link that name to the materials that have already been produced as part of copyright protection for the name that's already that the Kiss Daniel brand already
But
because it's
if
very
no,
similar.
yeah, if the date of protecting this new name, right, is not the same time he got the right to the first name, the court will still like everything. You can't just go ahead and just trademark someone's name. Like there's some company doing that in US. They just randomly trademark famous artist name before they even have the right to
Yeah,
trademark it. And by the time they get to court, because like already social company already trademarked this, and then you have to buy the right from them.
I don't
But
actually see. I don't actually
I've seen
see.
news like four
I
like
don't
that.
see Kiss Daniel winning that against you worldwide. Either way, I think I just think it's it's a lost battle for him as regards to this Kiss Daniel name or whatnot.
It's
You
not
already
just
have
being
the brand.
smart,
Like
man.
people will fuck with you either way.
Just go
Just change
change
it
the
to a
name
more
Daniel.
dynamic name.
Daniel K Daniel. Anything?
Yeah, exactly. Just change it to a more dynamic name and just go register and
Yeah.
do the right paperwork. Because now G
Yeah.
Worldwide is just
Yeah.
trying to limit you.
Yeah. I think the best way is like you run the name, do the name, got all the paperwork, then you announce the name.
Exactly.
So
That
by the time
works.
people see the name, there's not. You already got all the documents, all the paper
Because they
that is
got him
involved.
unawares,
Oh
man.
yeah, yeah,
They
because he's
got it.
been so stupid.
Yeah, they got. And one of the things with the artists is that they feel like everything is all right. They don't really know the management side
Mm.
of the business, and probably the people they employ to have that to manage that side are not really competent to look out for them. Because I don't understand. Because normally you wouldn't expect the artist to be like, oh, let's go do this, let's go do that, regards my name. You
No.
expect industry professionals to be the one who manage you and be like, oh, we need to go trademark this name and
Yeah,
have
they
it
should be the
registered
one
and
bringing the
everything.
ideas and
Exactly.
like directing you.
Yours just should be
Yo,
about the art.
exactly. Just make the music.
That's why you
That's
have the management, right? So I just feel like a lot of time it's either ignorance of that part of the business or trust that, oh, my people will handle it.
I think it's ignorant, man.
So I
Because
don't
sometimes you
know,
have
or
to
maybe a
ask.
combination of
You
both,
have to
because I
ask,
don't
man.
know
How can you
that.
rely on your people so much? Come on, man. Dude, I will sack everybody's
So
like everybody.
I'm still really waiting to see what comes out of this. Like if he still maintains the name and still continues to produce on that name,
No, that is
or he
bad,
tries to
man.
change his name to something else.
That is really bad. That I didn't, dude. I didn't know. G Worldwide
Yep,
made that move, man.
he made it. I saw it on Twitter. I saw it.
I didn't know.
I saw the certificate was actually published too. That shows that he got it from the Corporate Affairs Commission,
Oh
and
man.
it was registered under G Worldwide Entertainment.
Oh man.
So he made a badass move. He made a badass move.
I'm just so sorry for the boy, man. I don't know, man. And the last music he released, I'm not really feeling the last song. I don't know what's wrong with him.
What song is that?
I don't know. I just played from some site from, but like yeah, I wasn't really feeling the song, man. I forget. So anyway, let's proceed. Let's move to the next topic. What do we have on the TV? What's going on? So let's really talk about like content creators, people who really create content in Nigeria, right? Do you think they are limited with they have like internet restriction, like internet is limiting their real ability to create content and for people to really watch any video that is longer than 30 minutes in Nigeria?
Fact. I feel like yeah, there are a couple of issues that prevent people from creating like really good content in Nigeria. A lot of the content that I produce in Nigeria are usually 1 minute
One
long
minute, yeah, I've been
content,
saying that,
and
yeah.
it's usually for Instagram. And so it's more like you got to make people laugh or catch people's
Oh
interest in
yeah,
just
yeah,
1 minute.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Because why? A lot of people don't even have good internet. That even if you can purchase a data plan, it's not an assurance that the
It's going,
data is
yeah,
gonna like
the fast enough,
be fast enough to buffer videos
yeah.
and whatnot. So that's already an issue. And a lot of the tech companies be like, "Oh, we got 4G, we got 3G." It's all a lie. It's
Man,
all a
I think
lie.
our government is not the government is not just holding them responsible for
Exactly.
everything,
The
man.
NCC is not doing a good job. It's not doing a good job. Like you go to setting pad, you have Nigerians actually talking to other Nigerians online to ask like, how is the internet situation like in your part of
Part of the
and
country.
guess what? When you're shopping for a new house, you're looking for a new house.
Oh,
Guess what you also have to add? The internet connection around the house.
really?
Yeah. That's something
Man.
Nigerians have to also add to looking for a new house. When you're trying to get a new lease, you have to actually go there and see what
See if the
the
internet
network reception is like
is
there.
good there.
So either way, it's just like if you feel like, oh, if you feel like, okay, I got a good internet package, I can afford data plans and whatnot. Even with all of that, you still have to think about, okay, I'm moving to this other place that I'm moving. Is the network reception good there? And there are also companies that have really good internet plans, like maybe Swift and some other companies. And then you go to certain state, like maybe you go to Ondo State, they only have network reception in Akure and Ondo. What happens in other places?
bad,
So
man.
when I take that kind of internet connection bundle plans to my village, it doesn't work. So that's essentially one problem. When you compare the minimum wage to the cost of data in Nigeria, then how many people can actually afford a 10
Yeah.
gigabyte data plan? I use a 10 gigabyte data plan. At the end of the month, I'm not even done using it.
How much? How much do they pay for it?
I pay like 500 baht, which is like maybe 5,100 naira in Nigeria. For 5,100 naira in Nigeria, you probably get a 5 gig. And with that 5 gig, you can have it. It's probably over in a week, depending on your internet usage.
But do you know you can use that here for like even more than 1 month?
Exactly. You can. And guess what? The last time I went home, I bought 5 gig, right? Because I was gonna be home for 2 months, 2 weeks. So I felt like okay, 5 gigs for 1 month, for five gigabyte for 1 month
It's okay.
is a good deal.
Yeah.
Like I should be able to finish using it in 2 weeks and leave because I was gonna be streaming NBA games. And guess what? The network is just not working anywhere. Like I
God
could
damn it.
hardly text people. I could hardly do anything on social media.
Because like okay, the reason one of the reasons I asked this question was because of our podcast. You know, our
Yeah,
content is like over an hour long,
yeah,
and some of my friends are like, "Yo, we really want to watch a podcast, but we really can't watch it because we
yeah.
don't have the data plan for it." And
When they can't afford it.
yeah, and everything about this podcast is built around the content is built around Nigeria, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
it's kind of difficult for us to even like gain the viewers from back
Yeah,
home,
your target
except
audience to actually listen
yeah,
to your
and
program.
the audience, the living abroad is good. There's no way you can get hold on like a larger audience except you're really blowing up the internet and people
Yeah.
saying like people at home actually recommending you to the
Yeah,
people
yeah, yeah.
abroad.
Actually, yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
So I
Yeah,
was like, yo, man, I think the internet is like the major because if we build our content around Thailand here, we will be like so super
yeah,
extremely famous. Like
yeah,
we'll be like
exactly. But
everywhere. Like
people at
even
home
now,
won't even be able to relate.
yeah,
That's
to
the
relate.
problem.
Yeah. Even here, anywhere I go, yo, dude, I love your podcast. I watch this episode. I watch this episode. Like people who
Yeah,
I don't
I
even
see
believe,
people
you know.
texting me and people being like, "Yo, I fuck with your podcast and whatnot." I'll be like, "Yeah,
I was
thanks,
like, you
man."
guys have been like the first person to ever do something like this in Thailand. Right? If imagine if our content is built around this country, what?
Yeah, the outcomes will
Yeah,
be.
I think our major drawback and thing that is holding us back is like the internet back home, man. It's just
It's
the
just
internet,
that's just it. That's just
just
it.
the internet, man.
That it's because if you look back to like the history of telecoms back home, remember back in the days where you had to buy a SIM card for like maybe 30K,
Oh
23K.
man,
So imagine from then we started to like
and we're still
transition.
thanking Obasanjo for bringing.
Yeah, exactly right. Like people just felt like that's like
Oh
it's
man,
not even a government initiative. It's a pub. It's a
Nigerians are so
private.
polite, man.
Yeah, it's more like a private enterprise investment because it wasn't really subsidized. It was
Yeah,
yeah, SIM cards were
these
that
people like they
expensive.
just making money out of Nigerians a lot. Like,
Yeah,
and
and it's the same thing that also goes out to these data plan issues. Because data plans are expensive when you look at take it or leave it. People we're targeting are Nigerian millennials.
mm,
We're not targeting old
old
folks.
folks,
Old
yeah.
folks can't stand this podcast because within the first 5 minutes,
Yo,
we're already using the cuss word. And they're probably saying, like, ah, she won't talk on my lane. You understand? So it's not, take it or leave it. Our podcast is it's not for the old folks,
That's
it's for
right. That's right.
millennials.
You're right. You're
And,
so
and a
right,
lot of
man. You're
millennials,
right.
the problem is that they're either in school and struggling to be able to buy data,
Yeah.
and they try to conserve the data.
All
When they're
this
going
the
to bed
little
at
data they
night,
have is like they use it on Twitter.
yeah, when they're going to bed at night, they switch off their data. They
Yeah.
wake up in the morning, they turn it on.
Can you imagine? You
And
have to switch off your data if you're
yeah,
not even using it. But who is using it?
and guess what? These telecoms company also have data plans for like one night, whereby when you subscribe, maybe for like from 9 p.m. to like 6 a.m., just like the MTN call
Oh
back
yeah,
in the
yeah, yeah.
days.
They call
Yeah,
it.
they have
Yeah.
that package too, whereby you're able to browse from nighttime to like early mornings,
Mm,
where everybody else is probably sleeping. Then you can load your request on the server.
mm.
So they subsidize that, but for those who can only afford, that's the time they get to browse.
Yeah.
And it's
Only
also
at night.
limited, right?
Yeah.
So that's for that. And also there are people that they've graduated, they're looking for a job. So they still can't be able to afford
To
proper
afford. Yeah.
data plan.
Yeah. Yeah.
The data plan they have is just to look for job applications and just to apply for
I apply
jobs,
for job. Yeah,
openings,
and just
and
check
wait
emails
back,
all the
check
time.
emails and whatnot. So that's the thing. So
Yeah, they
internet
still.
is the biggest struggle
Yeah.
as to the development of podcasts and content creation in Nigeria. So a lot of the famous Instagram content creators are comedians who are able to create funny content
Funny
under
content.
1 minute,
1 minute. Yeah,
56
that is
seconds,
right. That is
55
right.
seconds. And the
You're
reason
right.
people watch them is because somehow they download browsers that conserve data plans
Mm.
that maybe you're able to watch your video in light mode.
Oh, 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 oh,
So
oh,
either
oh, oh,
way, they
Okay.
don't get to like expend so much data plans as those of us abroad
But
who don't really care.
anyways, I still think, yeah, we're progressing. Like compared to our time where you have to go to internet cafe to be able to do
Yeah,
this, to be able to even watch, you buy 1 hour time, and the internet is like crawling. It's moving so slow, you can't even do anything. But before 1 hour, you have to buy another 1 hour. Sometimes the server is gone for like
yeah.
2 hours. You have to wait. You know,
Keep refreshing.
yeah,
Yeah,
refresh. You can't, like, if you want to download 10 MB files, it will take you like 3 or 4 hours. But now I think, yeah, there's a little bit
yeah.
of
I
progress,
think
but I think we're still lacking behind because compare the population of Nigeria, right?
yeah,
And if they have standard internet service, right? Podcasting will be like huge in Nigeria right now.
yeah.
It will be like so huge.
Like since I'm writing a thesis on podcast, like I've been able to like look for materials that are written by Nigerians and they are kind of localized and contextualized to Nigeria.
Mm,
And I've seen like there are people who have been able to produce podcasts starting from 2014. But the thing is, it was not sustainable for them
okay.
because they weren't
That's like
having
four
the
years ago.
listenership. Like
Yeah.
usually they just get to like 21 episode and that's it. They just
Mm-mm.
quit.
Oh yeah, and I was
And their episodes are not regular.
mm,
So that's also one of the problems because why create content that is
yeah,
not getting to the
consistency.
yeah.
Consistency is one of the
Once
key
you're
to
not getting
podcast.
the
Yeah.
people's attention, then
Yeah.
you're not really motivated to keep
To
producing
keep going.
content.
And I
And
was
those
I was reading some research as well, and it said like almost like 50 to 60% of podcasts on iTunes are dead podcasts. That means they are not active for the past 2 years. So for your podcast to be considered death, that's to be like inactive for 2 years.
yeah.
So almost like 50% of podcasts on iTunes are
Yeah,
inactive.
people felt like podcast is going to develop incrementally just like blogging.
Yeah,
But it's two totally different things. With
it's totally
blogging, you
different.
don't need that much
Data.
data
Yeah,
consumption compared to like podcasts. And
podcast.
and for a lot of people, the other way for them to like listen to podcasts is to just download the audio file, the MP3 files from like maybe iTunes or from
Yeah,
SoundCloud
that's the best. Like
instead of
On
watching
our
the YouTube
SoundCloud, I make
videos.
it downloadable. You can just
Yeah,
download and listen
yeah, and
there.
just
Yeah,
listen. So instead
and
of
that's
like
just one of the best way though. Yeah, because like streaming, like if you're not in Thailand, like me, I stream like podcast every day. Like I listen to podcast like, at least 4 hours every day.
that's a
Four
lot.
hours, yeah,
That's a
at
lot.
least 4 hours every day. And one of the reasons is because like we're into podcasting, right?
Yeah,
You need to find motivation from everywhere. You have to find
yeah,
what you're doing wrong, what you have to improve. And most of the time when I listen to podcasts, I always compare their sound, their audio quality with our audio quality.
yeah,
So that way, like, make me like, if I see some podcasts, their audio is really clean, is nice. I was like, yo, what are they doing? What do we have to do on our audio podcast? Like you see, every day, every week, we're trying to add something. We're trying to like
yeah.
do something different. And if you compare our last two episode to our first two episode or like
Yeah, there's
mid-range episode, like the
substantial
audio is like so
difference.
different.
Yeah.
And right now we just launched our internet radio where we can go live at the same time. But I think we're still going to have a drawback on that aspect as well
Yeah,
because
exactly. Because you
man,
still definitely need people who
people
have
to
the internet
listen,
to
yeah, to
listen and to
listen, yeah.
stream it.
So
So
we just have to keep doing. Sometimes you just
yeah,
have to
exactly.
keep doing it,
It's just a
implement
matter of
it, and
time,
just yeah, just wait for it.
and personally, I just feel like it's about just creating the visibility. With time, when the situation improves, when it comes to data plans, and then there's an economic boom,
Yes.
then because in all of these, if the people can afford like 10 gigabyte, we won't be having this conversation. The
Exactly.
conversation would be
Exactly.
about,
Yeah.
okay, the telecoms company actually
Company.
providing good internet connection or reception for people to actually use that internet. So, so we just
I was
yeah,
talking to a guy yesterday, but he was like, "Yo, so Danny," it was like, "Joel, don't even care about views now. I like just create your content and just make sure your content
yeah,
is good and just keep going,
just
just keep going,
yeah.
don't stop." I was like, as soon as people started noticing you, people will go back to
Go
watch
watch.
episode one.
Yeah, they'll go back and say, "Oh, there's so many episodes."
Yeah, they
And
will go
so
back to like to start from episode one, episode two, episode three, episode, and it was like yeah, and he said he noticed I named the episode, so we have people already
yeah,
have the guideline. They know which
yeah,
episode is one,
yeah,
which episode is two, which episode is three. I
yeah,
was like, yeah, you're
exactly.
right, right.
Yeah, that's true.
Because like I still see a lot of people on Twitter on Joe Biden's podcast. People just like, yo, I just started yesterday and I've already watched. I go back all the way to episode one. Dude, they are in episode 167, man.
Yeah, exactly. So that's gonna take you months to get
People
to the
go,
current
yeah,
episodes.
people go back to start from episode one. So
Yeah,
I was like, we still new, and
yeah, it's still a matter of time,
we're doing numbers and we're getting known
For me, what I just
locally
feel
here.
like it just it's like the saying hip hop. It takes just one verse to fuck up the game.
Yeah,
So it just
yeah,
takes
just
one
one
episode
episode. Yeah, yeah,
to
yeah.
like
You're
to
right.
just
You're right. Just take one episode to
to
be like
kill it.
boom.
And the
Yeah,
moment you just kill it, then you
you will
just
know
have
it.
all of that,
Yeah.
all of the attention, the visibility, and everything that you actually want. So that's why I'm not really bothered. Like
Me too, man. I'm not really
I ain't
concerned.
tripping. You know,
We just have to keep going, man. We just have to
that's
go. We're
what's
gonna
up.
celebrate our 100th episode. We're gonna pump champagne. Hopefully, we can pump champagne in front of camera this time.
Hmm.
Again, what do we have on the board?
What's that? Okay, so something happened. Like I think this is part of my material. So I don't know.
Okay.
So what happened? Like, okay, I went to the Malaysian embassy like
Okay.
recently. So to submit an application. So on my way, I don't know. I was just around the area, right?
Mm.
So I was like, I saw the Thai Red Cross AIDS Research Center or something.
Mm.
So I was like, oh shit, I haven't checked my HIV status in a while.
Mm.
And I was like, hell yeah, go check it out. Like,
Fuck. That takes some balls, man.
yeah, I was just go check it
That
out.
takes a
Like,
lot of balls.
it doesn't change anything. Like nothing. You check it now,
it changes a lot.
you don't
It
change
changes a
anything because
lot.
then you are empowered in information to make better choices,
Okay.
which is like to go on antiretroviral drugs and to make sure you don't infect other people and whatnot. So, I was just like, it doesn't change anything if I check it now or not. Like, I feel like I've lived a good life. If I'm dying today or tomorrow, I don't
Yeah,
feel bad.
it's stupid.
I don't feel bad about that. So I was like, okay, just walk in. So I walk in and I was filling the paperwork and whatnot. Then I discovered I started to sweat. And it's not the sweat that it's hot. It's just the sweat of anxiety and
Yeah,
and
it's like
and, and I was like,
like, heck, no, no,
I
this.
noticed and I was like, but I'm not afraid of whatever the outcome is gonna be. So why is it that I'm sweating? So as
Ah,
very emboldened that I was really emboldened, but I still don't know. But somehow subconsciously I was scared. That I could notice it that, oh,
oh,
why are you
man.
dripping, man? Then I was just like, whatever, just
Fuck it.
just do it. Fuck it. I just did it. I tried to smile through and not even think about what the result was gonna be. They were like,
It was
oh
instant, right?
no, an hour.
Oh, okay.
So it was like syphilis and HIV at the same time.
Mm.
So I just feel like a couple of options. So I just they drew my blood and everything, and I just went out to like have noodle soup. I just went around the
I was
corner to
like,
have
fuck
noodle
it.
soup. Like fuck it, like who cares?
Oh,
I just came
man.
back. It was already an hour when I came back, and I was like, the last time I took a test in a hospital, right? They told me an hour, and even before an hour, the result was already out.
Oh,
So I was like, I just sat there waiting for my number or for them to call me, and they didn't call me. So I just walked up to this workstation where they told me to come
Mm.
to for result, and I was just like, is this number already the result for this number already out? So did you check for a couple of minutes? And he was like, oh, go to door number 17. And when I was walking to the door, then I saw like it was one lonely ass door and place in a corner, and I was
It's
like,
like dead zone. It's
yeah, it
like
was a
shit.
dead zone.
It's
Like
like shit.
in
Oh
all of the
fuck.
place, right? That was the place where they had seats, but there was nobody
Mm.
around. Like every other place had people sitting on seats or each opposite each offices or each doors and whatnot. So I was like, oh shit. Is this the HIV counseling center? Like, oh shit, nigga, you positive as fuck, I was like, oh,
Oh
so you
man.
guys are trying to put me here so you can
You can
counsel
just
me
say
and
like
whatnot.
don't
I was
commit
like, oh
suicide.
fuck, man. I was just thinking, having a lot of
Oh
thought,
fuck.
like, why am I isolated here? I just sat there waiting, and then I heard the voice of a doctor from inside the room, and
Mm.
he just called me out and was like, come inside. And I was like, he, I gave him my tag and whatnot. Then he checked. Then he already printed the result
Mm.
before calling me. Then he was like, "Oh, here's your result. HIV negative, syphilis non-reactive. So you're both negative from both." I was like, "Okay."
I was like,
I
what?
wasn't
I was
like,
like, what the fuck you
you know,
put me here?
I wasn't really like, oh, excited or whatnot, because I was ready for whatever, because the
Oh
reckless or
man.
beat and whatnot. So it was like, oh, when last did you have sex? I was like, oh, it's been like a week. So it was like, okay, then the result is conclusive. So it's like, when last did
Oh,
you have
nice.
unprotected sex? It's like probably a month now. It's like, oh, then the result is definitely conclusive. So you're good. So I was like, yeah, thank you, doc. So,
Ah, fucking
so
mad boy and
yo,
shit. Oh,
I was just going back home and I was just having a thought, like, yo, I was like,
what if you go the other way around? How are you gonna react?
I ain't gonna react anything. I was like, okay, what do I do? Like, go on antiretroviral drugs before it really like kills all my blood, all my cells, my and everything, my blood system, right? So I was just like,
Dude, I'm not the last time it wasn't even me. Right? I had sex with a girl, she went, do the
that shit is what
motherfucking
everybody does.
what
That's what that shit was ever.
Yo,
Like
I was
people
like,
like
hell
be like,
no, man.
if she's not positive, then
I am not
I'm
positive.
positive. That's what a lot of people do.
Dude, no, hell no, I'm not doing it. I'm not fucking going to do that. There's no way I'm going to do the fucking test.
Exactly, like
No way. If I'm still
that's
alive right now, I'm still alive.
that's what a lot of people do. Like
Come on, man. I would
they
say it
just
again. I would say it again.
they depend on their partners or
Yeah.
significant others
Hell no,
um
man. I'm not going. I'm
HIV
sorry, man.
test
I'm not going.
as a test for theirs. And I just had it done, and
Yeah, for the
you
past
know
few years, I'm not feeling any pains. There's no strange sickness. Nothing's happening to me. Like, I think I'm still
it,
healthy. Except
I
like
don't
stay
know.
home, eat a lot of burgers, and eat a lot of pizza and shit.
So I was just walking to the
Oh
train
man, that's the
station,
oh
and
shit,
I was
right?
just like, "Yo, the higher power gave me another chance, man. Don't blow it, young man. Don't blow it.
Oh, come on, man.
Just like,
Oh fuck.
like you can't be in this town and not make mistakes sometimes, and you don't really know which one. And even though like condoms doesn't really guarantee like 100% protection, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah,
so no matter how much you try to like be careful, like it just takes just one mistake
yeah.
for you to like
To sleep.
exactly. So I was just like, oh man, like you survived. You survived.
Survive
So right
another
now,
another 100 years, man.
like
100 years
I'm tripping,
alive.
like I was just at the bar, like watching the Nigerian game, and Shorty came, which is already after I knew the result, and Shorty came was like she was flirting. I was like, I was just hearing like in my head like, oh devil, not today. Jesus take the wheel. Jesus take the wheel.
Not gonna get me.
And I'm like, no, not today, babe, not today. I was just like,
Oh
nah.
man.
You know what? Nigeria is playing right now. Let's talk after the match. And like a girl that's flirting, like she's really flirting with you, and you tell her that, it just already shows like, oh,
Yeah,
I
you're
ain't
not
interested.
interested.
Football
Yeah.
is more like interesting. And after the soccer game, I was just hanging around, and she was like, oh, okay, I see you next time. I was like, yeah, whatever. Like, nah, not today. not today.
Man, that takes some balls, man. Shit. HIV
Yeah,
test?
exactly.
Hey,
Many
no,
people don't want
man.
to have it done.
No,
So,
I'm
like,
not.
I
I'm
done a
not
lot of
done.
tests. Like, I done chlamydia.
What the fuck
I've
is
see,
chlamydia?
yeah,
What is
I've
that?
done chlamydia.
What is that?
It's still an XTI. It's still an
Oh,
XTI.
oh, okay.
So they took my blood, my
Yeah,
urine
you
test. It
should be
came
urine
out.
test, yeah.
Yeah, it came out negative, and so I just do this thing just to know, like, okay, I'm good. I'm good.
Dude,
You know.
I'm good. Like, I know I'm
So,
good. Dude,
well, you don't know you're good.
I know I'm
You
good.
feel good, but
I'm
you don't know
good.
you're good.
What? What else do I have to feel? I have to feel good. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling
Well,
myself every day.
you, I don't know, but I
Dude,
just feel it's always good to know, because
I can go for general body test.
information is power.
I can go for general body test. Like the last time I went, that was last year, right? And like everything is good. Maybe you just have to eat more of reduce the way you eat salt, just like a little bit. No, like general body test, heart
Yeah.
scan, X-ray, and shit like that. So I can go for that every year.
Something that validates. It's more like that. Something that validates your preconceived notion of your body that I'm okay.
I'm
That's
just
what you
okay.
want.
Yeah, I'm
You
just
want something that just validates that
dude.
I'm okay.
I know I have one of like I've yeah, I've done my genotype test and blood group wherever. Like dude, fuck it. I just want to live. Don't give me with all those HIV bullshit, which I know the origin of it. Just fuck that fuck. Dude, I'm more scared of STI, STDs than fucking HIV.
Why?
Because they have instant reaction. Like it's at least a week or month is already like reacting your body.
Yeah, but HIV kills you over a long
Don't
time.
give a
You
shit.
should be more scared of that.
Everybody want to die slowly. Nobody want to die once.
Well, I don't pray you get HIV, bro.
I'm not. I'm not
I
gonna
just
get
don't
it.
pray
Like I'm
because
not.
you really don't know the severity of that. Like, if you've seen people who suffer from HIV and some who've died from it, then you'll be like, you really be
I'm
conscious
dude. I've been living
of
for
the impact of it.
for how long? I'm getting fatter every day.
Yeah,
What do you make of that?
usually, even before I went for the test, I already felt like I'm not losing weight, I'm gaining weight.
Come
So
on, man.
I felt like the symptoms, I can't find any of the symptoms. But I just felt like information is power. Just arm yourself with these. And since I've got this information, right, I'm very more careful of the choices I make when
Yeah,
it comes to women. Like, I've really like been zoned out.
yeah. Like me, I always like do that when it comes to women. But what my scares, like what I'm afraid of is going to salon and
Yeah.
everybody cutting hair with same fucking clipper.
Yeah, that shit's scary too. That shit's
That
scary.
is like my only concern, man. That is my only
Yeah,
major
that shit's
concern. That
scary.
is the only thing I'm scared of. That's the only
Yeah,
thing I'm
because
scared of.
exactly, it's not like there's so many ways that a
Yeah.
person can have it, can contact HIV/AIDS. So as a result of that, you can't actually rule out anything. But the most obvious is like sexual intercourse. So once you can rule that out, then the chances of having it from through other means is usually
It's
lesser.
small, yeah.
Like, I don't know, but I heard this that sometimes you go to like cinemas in Nigeria and people infect you with, they just um, they pierce you with a needle, and then they drop a note that you've been infected with HIV/AIDS and whatnot at the cinema. I read it somewhere on Twitter,
Are you
and
serious?
then I read that people said, like, if anybody, like, someone actually said that happened at the cinema. So people were like, I don't know how true this is because I have not actually had a conversation with a professional about this, but they were like, if that is the case, then the the HIV will definitely not really affect the person because the body is not the host. So it's something that has been transmitted through the needle from a host already.
Mm.
So either way, there are still solutions for the person. If that happens, then go talk to a professional. There are probably medicines that can be given that will just eliminate it because you are not the host. But I'm not really scientifically versed to know about these things. But with the way a lot of people agreed to that and they are also corroborated it, then it's not really that much of a danger. But people are nasty.
Come on, man. How would you? How the
But
fuck you
I
have to
don't
do
really
that?
believe. But I think a lot of people believe it probably because it's happened like a couple of times. But then there are people who are out there who
Intentionally
just
going out there just to
there
infect
are
people with
people
a
who are
fucking
out there who
disease.
just want to hurt you. There are people who have STI infections, STIs, and they know that they have it, and they don't even try to. Even if you can't say it out, there are ways through your demeanor that you try to protect the other person.
Yeah.
That so
Just
that the
advise them
person,
to use condom.
yeah, so that the person doesn't contact it. So it's just like you watch out for that person. But there are people who are really bitter and like the Yorubas call them wanikura. People who
Hanekura.
wants to wanikura. So they were just like, yeah, we all died together. We died there today. You
But
know?
STI, what? STI, STDs, that is general kind of sexual sickness. So
Yeah.
it's treatable. Yeah, you can even like stay avoid it if you want. But HIV, man, I
Yeah.
always pray to God, man. People, someone who implicates me,
Like
God don't bring them to my way, man. It's
like I
like,
told someone like I took the HIV test and I was like, what are you looking for? I was like,
exactly what are you
you know
looking
who could have said that?
for?
And he was like, I'm
I
not
know.
doing anything. What am I looking for? I'm not doing anything.
Go be fair.
It's
Oh
like
my god.
it's like okay. It's like when now that's like when you say like okay the result comes out positive and you say it out then like well you found what you are looking for. So what else? What else do you want?
Oh man,
You know?
dude, I'm not going to do this. I don't have the
Oh
courage. Like
man.
I don't even like even when I have the courage. I don't even like even if there's a cure for HIV right now, I'm not doing the test. I'm living a good life. I love my life. I'm not making a bad decision. I'm not going around fucking every girl I see. So
Oh
I don't
man.
do it. I don't care right now. So let's. This is really funny, man. Dude, when you started telling the story, I was like, beating. Am I saying it to someone with
Oh man.
positive? Oh, that takes some
It was
balls,
funny, man.
man.
Like
That
I
takes
got back
some
home, I was still
balls.
looking. Like there are girls that I've been with, that I feel like, one of the things I was just thinking about was, okay, if this result comes out positive, who do you pin it on?
Exactly. Who?
Because you just can't be like, oh, is this person or is that person? But then
You
I
have
was
to
just trying
think
to
over your
run through
head.
my sexual history,
And then you're
like,
gonna be enemy with all of them.
and it's just more like, okay, who those I can remember within probably last 1 year. That those are the ones I maybe can try to like, okay, pin it on or whatnot. What if it's someone from back
Yeah.
13 months ago and whatnot?
Yeah, what if it's like someone from 2 years ago? But before then, like if HIV 2 years in your body can feed it, I think it can feed it here.
I don't know how long it takes because sometimes it can be non-reactive until maybe it has really affected and weakened your blood. You start to feel it when it has weakened your immune system.
Mm.
When you are now not immune anymore, like it's been able to like weaken you. So then, and so yeah, it's still a good thing.
Man, I
So
think we're really better end of this on this
I
note,
tell
man.
people like my advice: just go check your status because once you're able to check and it validates that you're negative, it changes your psyche about certain things when it comes down to women because then you start to become more careful and like
How long you gonna
normally
be?
like
Probably gonna be careful for 6 months, and then you
you
go
know
reckless again.
yeah exactly but at least you don't know when that window where you sleep and it just happens come. So I don't know if this is me being lucky that I just have it up in my head now that okay, now you got another chance at life. So just make the best of it and be wise and smart. So I'm the way it's like it's power right now. So yeah, with that being said,
I'm sending someone. I'm not
well
going.
at least every guy I fucked can actually know that they're not positive, like except they fuck someone. Yeah. So let's use
Oh,
that.
man.
It's more like deductive reasoning.
Yes,
That
yeah,
okay,
yeah,
if
yeah,
Anthony
that's
is
right.
negative, then I'm negative.
Yeah, that's right.
That's if we've had unprotected sex. Then so
Mm.
yeah,
That's cool. So with that being said,
yeah.
man, that dude, that deserves some fucking air on, man. Dude, holy fuck.
Yeah, man.
Damn
I
it,
don't know. I
man.
just, I
No,
just,
I don't know where. Maybe, man, maybe by December.
I feel like with this now, I'm emboldened to maybe go maybe after every 3 months or six
Ah,
months
come
or whatnot.
on. Come on, don't do
Yeah,
that.
I gotta go watch the England and Japan and Senegal game.
Ah, yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you all for listening. Thank you for watching. Thank you to all our viewer from YouTube, from SoundCloud, people from iTunes, Stitcher,
Yep.
the people who are following us on Instagram, on Twitters, and everywhere. Thank you.
Yeah.
Peace out.